Hello, this is Kylie from Hello Crafter and welcome to the monthly card class for May. So I had record numbers getting the kit this month, which is fantastic. So thank you so much for buying the kit, or for those that put an order through in my Stampin' Up shop and got the kit for free. I really appreciate your support and your business, and I really hope you enjoy making the cards. If you bought the kit for £12 and you did want to place an order, then I can knock the £12 off your order, but I'm closing the orders tomorrow. So Wednesday the 20th is when my class order closes and gets submitted. So if you did want a few bits and pieces, just message me with your order tonight or tomorrow, and I'll knock the £12 off that. So effectively you will still get your class for free, which is what I would do in a normal face-to-face class anyway. So I'm just going to record myself basically making these 3 cards. I'll first explain what's in the kit, because you may not want to follow the designs that I've created. You may want to use your pieces to create your own designs, and that's absolutely fine. So I will show you how I made these ones. But you can put your own spin on it. You can mix and match the shapes, you can create your cards in landscape form, or just whatever you wish. You may have supplies at home that you might want to add into your cards as well. So really this is your kit, this is your stuff. You do whatever you like with these. So we'll make a start. So I'll put these out of the way for the moment and just get the kit out. I'll just explain all the pieces that are inside. Now some of the bits are really small, so just be careful when you open up your bag that you're not going to lose any bits and bobs. So they're your envelopes, nice quality Stampin' Up envelopes. Then your 6 card bases. So they're pre-scored for you. They're just an A4 sheet of white card cut in half and then scored. So I've scored them just so that it's easy for you to fold and crease. And then we've got some matte layers. And so you'll see that there's some black ones. So on this design, I wanted a black border. So you would stick the white piece on the black piece there, and that's completely optional. You might just want it just white on white if you prefer, so you don't need to use the black. And then we've got these die cut pieces here, which are like a little frilly frame, and then these white pieces are for this card. So these pieces are like a base piece that your coloured strips will be stuck onto, which I'll explain later. Then you've got all your shapes that I've punched and die cut for you. These strips are what will go on this strip card. And then you've got a little bag of words, and I've stuck one of them on here, but again, these are optional. I think I've included 6 different phrases in here for you, all different ones that would suit lots of different occasions. But if you just wanted to use your own stamps and just do all happy birthday, or just have them blank like this, I've kept these ones blank for now because I don't know what I'm going to use them for. So in my stash I'll keep a few blank cards, and then if I've got an occasion coming up, I can maybe pick one and just add something onto it as and when. And then you've got your gems. So that's what's in the kit. Now, obviously this is a bit of a mess that I've just created with all my bits there. So what I would do is just find a little container. So I've got this white box here, which is really useful for just keeping everything in one place so I don't lose anything. And then also, if I don't get to finish my cards in one go, then everything's in one place. So I can pop everything in there. The other idea I had actually was, if you know you're not going to finish them in one go, is to maybe take each envelope, fold up your card base, pop that in, and pop the bits that you need for each individual card. So one of each of the butterflies would go in there, and just fold it up and have them ready to just take one out, assemble it, and then everything you need is in that envelope. So that's another idea for you. So I'm just going to start with the easy one first, which is the butterfly. So if I find the bits that I need for that, so one of each of the butterfly colours is 7 colours. And really it's a matter of deciding how I'm going to lay those out on the card. So I get my glue and my scissors ready. So find my white mat and whatever glue that you prefer to use, whether that's a wet glue like this one. This is my favourite, it's the Tombow multi-purpose glue, which I use for everything. It's really strong and you don't need a lot of it. I know some of you prefer tape, which is all you can also use. So I'm going to just get that stuck on, ready to get my butterfly stuck on. And this time I think I might, you could do them in a straight line. Let's just have a little play. So before you stick anything down, you can just play with the layout and decide where you might want to stick things down. Or you could go, I might actually do a rainbow shape with this one. Just have them flying around. That kind of shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. The green goes in the middle. And then I could put a word there maybe. So I'll open it out so it's flat. Okay, so I'm just going to put, I don't know if you can see that. Is it focusing on? Tiny blob of glue in the centre of the butterfly. And if I just put glue in the centre and not all over it, then it gives me scope for when the glue dries to pop up my butterfly and make my card more, give it more dimension, so they're more 3D. So I wouldn't be able to do that if I'd glued the whole shape down. Okay, so do I want gems on this one or not? I think I'll leave the gems off that one, so they're optional, but I think they look quite nice in that one. And in terms of a sentiment, I am actually going to add a stamped sentiment. So I've got this one in my collection, which I really like, Peaceful Moments. So it's got a lovely thank you and happy birthday, which is why I bought it, because they're the two that I use most often. But it's also got some other really useful sayings and greetings on there. And I really like the font as well. So I'm going to have a happy birthday one because I've got a birthday coming up that I need to post out a card for. So I've got my Memento black ink because black goes with this. Okay, and that's just my simple rainbow. Let's try this one this time. And I have another card base, and this time a plain layer over the top, and it just adds just a little bit of extra detail. You could stick your flowers straight on if you don't want to add that extra layer. And then again, arranging your flowers. So I've got a couple of sprigs and a couple of daisies. Let's get all these out. So I've done doubles of these because they look great on their own, but they look even better, I think, doubled up. So just with the petals off centre, so it looks like a more full daisy flower, and that one there. Okay, and what else was there? These ones, and there is one somewhere. Ah, there it is. And so I've arranged these sort of in the top third of the card, top half of the card. You can have them coming down the side, you can have them right in the centre, you can just spread them out. But I quite like them in a sort of, what would you call it? I'm not a florist, so like a spray or something. And I always start with the bigger ones. If I start with the big flowers, then I can fill in gaps with the smaller ones. So I'm going to arrange these like in the corner, like an L shape. So I thought that would be quite nice. They always look nicer, sort of off centre to me. Just a tiny bit of glue, again, just in the centre, so that I might want to pop out the petals a little bit. And I'm sort of overlapping them a little as well. And the sprigs. Sprigs are great just as they are, sort of going behind the flowers, or you can cut them, which is what I did on this card. So you can arrange them sort of slightly differently, or you can have them coming out in 4 different spots. And then again, just a little bit of glue on the bottom, just a tiny bit of glue on the bottom of the leaf so that it can stick up. I'm sticking them behind the bigger flowers. And the die cuts would work really well on this one. And I think I'll have another happy birthday. If I can find happy. Be careful with these in the bag, I should have said this, because I've included the little, tiny little, not in this one, because this is, I forgot to do that on my version, but the tiny little dots for the eyes. So it's fallen off this one, but the dot for the eye in friend and birthday are included in your bag, and they are really tiny. So I don't know if you can see how much glue I'm actually using. Tiny little dots. If you can control how much glue comes out of your little, there's a little fine end on that one, so it's quite easy to control how much glue comes out. So you only need tiny little dots, and then gently press down, and quite often I might take something like a little bag and just press on that just to make sure it's all stuck down, and the same on this. And I'll probably have to go back and cut myself some more little dots for the eyes for this one. Doesn't really matter. There. So that's that one, and again I can go back. I think with these flowers definitely need something in the centres actually, so I'll go back and add my little gems in those ones. So there's two different styles for you there. And then last one, this is the more complicated one. It's not really tricky, but there's a couple more steps to this one. So again, you've got your base for your strips, and then this frame effect, and that will go in the centre of that. But you need to get your strips out. And you won't need all of them. So but I thought I'd cut extras just in case. And I've cut them very, very slightly wider than the width of this white bit. And that's just so wider is better than shorter, because you don't really want to see any white space once you want to cover this whole thing. You don't want to see any white. Okay, so I'll show you how I did that. So you can put the glue on the strip, or you can put the glue on the white piece. It's up to you. I'll do. If you use a tape runner or use double-sided sticky tape, you might just want to put some strips of tape going vertically. That would work. But using my trusty Tombow, try and get the first one lined up with the top of the white card as straight as possible. You might want to turn it over just to make sure. And your strips will overhang very slightly the edge, but that's fine. That's totally fine. But try and get the top strip as straight as you can along the edge of the white card. And the next one, the good thing also about, oh, that's too short. Hopefully none of yours are too short. That might just be me rushing the cutting. The good thing with this wet glue is that you've got a few seconds to slide it into place. So that butts right up against the first strip. And keep going like that basically, and make sure you don't leave any white space on the sides or above or below the strip. Get them nice and even up to the strip above it. And I might speed this bit up in the video. So you'll find probably that the last one will overhang very slightly. That's absolutely fine. But these bits that are overhanging on the edge will need to be trimmed off. So ideally you would leave this to dry just for a few minutes to make sure the glue's holding, and then use your scissors just to snip those tiny bits off, so that when you turn it over you've got two lovely straight edges. And then you take your frilly frame, no, not yet. Then you want to add your leaves. So you've got these white leaves that contrast really well against the coloured background. So you should have 4 leaves for each card. You might not want all of them on there, and then there's two little white flowers as well. So you've got like tropical style leaves and flowers on there. So arrange these however you want. So they'll overhang. So a tiny bit of glue just to get these stuck down. And it doesn't matter that they're hanging over the edge, because we're going to trim those off, those bits, and make everything square again. Get a little bit more of this ferny one just on here. Made a tiny bit of a mess with the glue there, but there. I'll put the flowers on in a moment. So again, leave it a few minutes to dry, and then go back with the scissors and just cut off anything that's overhanging the edge. And now we can stick that in the centre of the frame, and the frame just gives it I'll worry about where my greeting is going to go when I've completed it. Okay, and my card base. And again, I think I'm going to do a stamped image on this one. I've got this stamp set called Label Me Bold, which is one of my favourites, which is retiring. So it's not going to be available after the 2nd of June, if not before actually, because it's until stocks last. So the good thing about this one, it's quite a bold, obviously it's called Label Me Bold, it's quite a bold sentiment set, and if you stamp it in black and use it on a card like this, really colourful card, it works really well. And what I like to do is I'll mount a few of the stamps at once onto a block. And ink them up all at once, stamp them. Oh, that congratulations didn't work very well. Probably not mounted it very straight. Let's just try that one again. It's a bit better. But that's okay, you get the idea. And then I've got some greetings that I can just simply cut out. And I could cut them all out now and pop them in a little pot like this. So I've got some ready for my next projects, or I can just put that away, pop that in an envelope with my other cards, and then I've got that ready to go too. So I've got another happy birthday card here. So this one works really well against this background. Where should we put it? Put it there. And you may have some similar stamps or something that you can cut out to stick on. So there we go. So that was this card. Okay, so I'm going to be on live tonight, so I'll probably see some of you then anyway. And if not, then you've got this video to refer back to complete your projects in your own time. And you can pause the video at any point and rewatch. But message me if you've got any problems or if you've got any questions. But message me if you've got any questions. Bye for now.